Hey guys, welcome back to Adaz, please. Here we do knowledge and tips in the midst of vibes. Just thought I should maybe put some pointers out there, especially to help those that are recent graduates, those that are currently trying to switch jobs or switch roles or whatever, because I've been in the market for a while and I'm going to tell you all about it, all I have been practicing. I mean, I'm not a professional, I'm not a recruiter, but I'll tell you my experiences and what I have been doing so far to kind of help me land a job, a full-time job. So let's get started. Before we jump into this video, please, if this is your first time seeing me, give this girl some love, okay? Just click on the like button and the subscribe button if you enjoy my channel, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up as well. And if you're an old-time subscriber, thank you for keeping me in the game. I mean, most of you probably know that I have been working as a student, like as a working student. Remember I did a video talking about the kind of student jobs, the kind of job students actually can get, here in Germany. But yeah, I recently graduated. I submitted my thesis. I'm currently waiting for my certificate to be out. So technically, I'm no longer a student, although technically I am still kind of a student-ish until the certificate is out. However, since I had already submitted my thesis, I can actually start working full-time. But of course, I need to have like a full-time job in order to do this, and also need to have a full-time contract, because you can have a job verbally, but if it's not, with the contract, of course, I can't change my visa from a student visa to a work permit. Anyway, I'm not going to give you all that details, everything that concerning student visa. If you want to know about, the switch from a student visa to a work permit, you can just give me a comment, leave a comment in the comment section. I can make a video about that. However, this video is purely related to the world of job searching, how to prepare for interviews, how to prep your CV ish, and yeah, I'm going to talk about how to get the first interview. Basically, you're about to graduate from school, you don't wait until your final defense, you don't wait until you hand in your thesis. You have to actually start looking for jobs, because for some people it could take a while longer. For some people it could take like, I don't know, a couple of weeks before they can land a full-time job. And then for some people that are already working in organizations, they're already working as a working student, the company can retain them. But it's always better to, what's the word, not lay all your eggs in one basket. It's always better, even if you're already working in a company, it's always better for you to check out what's happening outside. It could be that the company that you're currently working in might want to retain you. It could be that they don't want to retain you. You never can tell, except you have a conversation with your boss. And until they give you a contract, don't assume that they're going to keep you, because things can change. Maybe the company might just be having some kind of changes, and they don't want to retain you anymore. But yeah, so the thing is, it's always good for you to kind of see what's happening outside in the market as well, because it could be that you're used to what is happening in this environment. Your salary is already this kind of thing, but you never can tell what's other people might offer you. They might even offer you something better. You can have like higher compensation. You can have like how they say, better work environment. The thing is, most times if you don't leave that comfort zone of yours, you probably wouldn't know what's happening in the outside world, basically. So while you're trying to get all settled in your own environment, it's always good to check out what's happening outside. It could even give you a bargaining leverage. So even if you find something outside, even if you get an offer from a company outside of the current company you work, you can tell your boss that, okay, I already have like an offer outside. I want to know if you're willing to give me an offer within the team or within the company. Otherwise, I can move, I can switch to a different, and then hear what they have to say. If they want to make you, they can even make you a better offer based on what you already have. It's just like, it's good to have a bargaining chip, basically. But for those that don't already have jobs outside, even if maybe you have a job but it's kind of like a student job, or maybe a menial job, it's not like a professional job, it's always good to start searching for jobs. And yeah, so one more thing to wanted to like kind of remind us is that for people that are currently in Germany, once you graduate, you're automatically given 18 months. Okay, not automatically given per se, because of course you're given, the law entitles you to 18 months to search for a job, and at this time you have to apply for a job seeking visa. The job seeking visa is entitled to all graduates, people that graduated in Germany, to get, for them to use that time frame to get a permanent full-time job in the confines of what they studied. So say for instance, if you studied something in business, international business, if you studied in engineering, you should be looking for a job that is either in business or in engineering, based on what you studied. So you wouldn't maybe, for instance, study something in engineering and then you go look for a job in design. It's not as if you wouldn't get the visa when you finally want to switch from a job seeking visa to a work permit. You will. Sometimes they probably wouldn't give you the visa, sometimes, but it's just better to get a job within your own field. That way it lessens the drama when it comes to applying for a work permit. When it comes to applying for jobs, first of all, you have to know what you're looking for. What are the skills you currently have, and what kind of job do you want to do? That's the first place to start, because that way you can start searching for job titles and job description. And when you look at job ads, you specifically look at what it is they want and how, and if you already have this kind of skills, if you already have this kind of experience, right? Even if you have no experience, if you're capable of doing this, if you think it's something that you would enjoy doing, if you think it's something that you want to do on the long term, it kind of gives you a guide. So say for instance, if you're already, for me, I was already working in HR, I was working in people operations as a student. So I was working as a working student, and I kind of understood the task. I knew what was involved. So when I was looking for a job outside, I just searched for people operations jobs, and then a lot of things popped up. And even if it's not even if the job title is not people operations per se, it could I got similar, like different job titles but with similar job descriptions, similar roles. The thing is, most times when jobs are being posted online, they're posting the job title, the company description, and the details of the job, what you will do and what you need to have in order to be good for this role. This is what you'll be looking out for. These are the most important things for you to be looking out for. I also know that some people, whenever they're applying for jobs, they just start sending out CVs. That's how some people, probably they studied something like international business and then you're sending out CVs to become a pastor or something, like, to work in the church or something like that. So you need to be really sure. It's not just by sending out CVs. Sending out CVs to any company for any job doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to. I see that's kind of like a waste of time, and it's not something you should be doing productively. To look for jobs is not easy. I will tell you, it's time consuming. Especially, well, there are other ways to make it more efficient so that it actually works for you. And if you send out all of these jobs, what you need to do is that, like, at this point, your aim is to get the first interview, for them to call you back or maybe send you an email to say, hey, we want to speak to you, we want to get to know you. This is the aim, at this point, because there's no way you would apply for a job and then they give you the job immediately. No, there are different stages of interviews depending on the company and depending on roles. Some jobs, some companies could be up to 5 different stages, some companies could be 4 different stages. And then again, one interesting thing is that sometimes when you apply to a company and when you apply to a company and apply to a specific role, if they don't like you for this role, they could recommend you to other roles that they think you're a better fit for. And then at this time, the interview might be a little bit more or less depending on the hiring manager and the recruiter for that team. So these are kind of things you need to be looking out for, and things you need to kind of prepare yourself for. But you don't need to worry about how long or how many stages the interview is going to be. All you need to do right now is just to get the first stage, get them to call you back, get them to schedule a call with you to get to know you, to get to know your skills, and to see if you're a good fit for them. So let's look at the CV. Looking at the CV, you have to tailor your CV in such a way that it would fit the job description you're looking for. That's also why you need to know the kind of job you're looking out for. You cannot just apply to anything. You cannot just apply to, because as a recent graduate, you probably have limited skills, except maybe you've been working for a long time before you actually started doing your master's. But I'm talking right now to all kinds of recent graduates. It doesn't matter if you're a master's student or a bachelor's students, you just came out of school. So even if you probably don't know everything that's in the job market, even if you've been working while you're studying, it's not the same per se, because this time around you probably been working part-time, but this time around you're going full-time. And so it's important for you to know the job description. What exactly is it you're applying for? What exactly is it you want to do? That way it will also give you a better overview. It will also help you to kind of know what know what to search for, know the kind of jobs to search for, know the kind of companies that actually hire more of this kind of talent. And it's also important that while you're looking for jobs, you need to have like an overview. Even if you don't have an overview of what you want to do in the next 5-10 years, at least know what you want to do or what you want to achieve in the next 1 or 2 years. That way it gives you kind of like a plan. So that being said, what you need to do first off is to prepare your CV. Looking at the CV, of course, you have the different sections of a CV. A standard, or do I say a perfect CV, is really 1 to 2 pages long. It shouldn't be more than 2 pages because nobody got the time to read all of that thing. Nobody got the time to read a 4-page CV. I mean, you're just a graduate. You don't even have a lot of experience yet, so there's no point overloading it with a lot of things that companies might not be interested in. And so the perfect way to make your CV is to make it like one page is like the best, but if you can't make it up to 1 page, you make it 2 pages long, and it should be more than 2 pages long. And then looking at the different parts of the CV, you have of course your name has to be boldly written so that anybody sees it, that this is you. This CV basically markets you. It tells the company about you, so you have to make it like as good as much as possible. So on the CV, you have the about me section. They just give a brief description of yourself, the kind of things you're looking for in the job market. And then you have, of course, your personal contacts, your email address, your LinkedIn, the area where you stay, because some companies are particular about, you don't need to put your full address, you just need to put the area. If you stay in Berlin, or what city you stay in and what country you stay in. And personally, I don't like to put my pictures on CVs because and at first when I started applying for jobs, I actually put my picture so that they know who they are talking to. It doesn't come to them as a shock that, hey, I'm black. But over time I just felt like, let's not be biased in a little bit. Let's just put the CV out there. If you like me, you get to talk to me, and then when you have the first conversation, you can get to know who I really am, like what I actually look like. But of course, it's up to you. It's your choice. You can decide to put your picture. You can decide not to. It doesn't necessarily matter. I've gotten jobs with pictures, with CVs where I have my pictures on it, and I also gotten jobs with CVs that I don't have a picture on it. So it doesn't really matter. Because as a recent graduate, if you don't have a lot of work experience, of course you have to put your education. Next, what you studied in school, what school you went to, what year you graduated, the different stages. If you had your first degree and then your master's, or maybe you just have your first degree and all that, you have to put this there. As a recent graduate as well, it could make more sense if you also put some of the courses you did. It's kind of the things that, like little bits and pieces of these courses kind of explain what you did there. You actually put some courses that you think would be very necessary for the job you're applying for. Just put a big description of them under your education path and all that. That's one. And then if you already have like some experience, maybe you've been working as a working student just like myself, what I usually do, what I did, what I'm currently doing is that I just put a brief description of what I have been doing for this job. If you don't know how to do this, the best way is when you check out job ads, go to the job description there. Look for things that you already have experience in, things that you have been doing, the way they describe this there. Kind of don't copy and paste, but kind of rephrase it, so that it sends the same message, but not using the same kind of words. I don't know if you understand what I mean. That way, they can also understand that you have experience doing this particular task, you have experience doing this particular thing, and you can also sell yourself that way. Yeah. So just to summarize a little bit, first things first. Prep your CV, put your education part, put your about me part, put your work experience part. It's not a lot. So for the education part, if you have no previous experience, kind of put a description of some of the courses that you did that will be applicable for this role, so that when the hiring managers say this, they know that even though you have no experience, you can relate. You have a little bit of an idea of what is expected here. And if you already have an experience, put your experience in your CV and put a description of what you have been doing in the past. If you have no idea how to rephrase this, if you have no idea how to explain or describe this, go to job ads and rephrase what they have there that you have experience doing onto your own CV. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. And then for the last part of the CV, of course, you need to put your professional skills, professional task, tools that you have been working with, things you have an experience working with. And I mean, for you to know some of these tools, you don't necessarily have to be or probably be employed. For instance, when you have something like G Suite, G Suite can also be used even as a student. When I was, I'm saying when I was a student now, but in school then, most of my classmates use G Suite to, kind of do projects together, and so yeah, you put that there, put whatever skill or whatever tools you've learned so far. If you know how to use SQL, or if you know how to use some design tools, or as it applies to you, basically, you put this on your CV as well. And yeah, you also put some professional courses you've taken over time, things that probably it's not part of your degree, but maybe you took like external courses. You can also put this, your language skills. It's very important, especially if you're applying for jobs in Germany, because they need to know what kind of languages you speak, because Germany is not an English speaking country. They speak German here, and so they need to know not just that you speak German, they want to know what level of German you speak. So it's going to be super easy, or maybe very helpful for you to put like the level, maybe like A1, A2, B1, or C2 if you're a native speaker. And also put that you're a native speaker of German there. I don't know if you have any questions. If you do, please leave me comments in the comment section. I'll get back to you as soon as I can on the CV. So the next thing is that, to actually apply for jobs. Of course, you have your CV ready. It's also important, to have a cover letter, but it's not super important. Some companies don't ask for cover letters, but if you do have your cover letter is a description of like a motivation letter. What motivates you to apply for this job? So you can put this in, you can just write a brief description of what you are, of who you are, what you're currently studying, when you're going to graduate from school, why you want to apply for this role, why you want to apply for this company, and the cover letter is tailored. You can't use one cover letter for 10 different companies. It's tailored to each company. So it's a little bit, it actually takes some time, and not all companies read this. So personally, I don't do cover letters. I usually don't write cover letters, except I am really interested in the company that I want to put my effort in getting into. So I write cover letters specific for the company. What I just do is just prep my CV, and for the CV, I also try not to put the job title I'm applying for. That way, I can use one CV for 10 different companies. As long as you already have the job title of what you're applying for, the job descriptions are usually the same. So you don't think that the job title might be a little bit different. And instead of trying to change job titles on different CVs, it's just good to just have one CV. Don't put any job title, but then you can use it to apply to different companies. And the more you apply to companies, the better your chances of getting hired. And of course, you're going to get a lot of no's, a lot of rejections. Don't even feel bad. That is like if you're getting no, say you're really doing the thing. All you need is just one yes, because you can't work for 10 different companies. You can only work for one company, So don't be discouraged if you have like 10 different no's. Of course not. See, no, a normal thing you get. When people say like that, unfortunately, it's a normal thing. So don't feel bad. You're not the only one, passing through the same thing. A lot of people that are applying as well are, having the same challenge, So all you just need is one company to say, hey, we're interested in you. Can we schedule a call? And then we take it on from there, So yeah, of course, after you finish working on your CV, you have to start sending out to, you start sending out to companies. Please apply for the job you're looking for. And it doesn't really matter on the job experience. Even if they ask for 2 to 3 years of job experience and you have maybe 1 year, or you have it doesn't matter. As long as you know you can do some of these things, still apply anyway. They could give you an audience, Because the thing is, most companies, the reason they reject is because if they have like a lot of more qualified applicants, they can reject those that are less qualified, But if they don't have more qualified applicants, they now begin to, they begin to interview those they already have, So you can't really say how many applicants have applied. And then the thing is, a lot of people apply. For a job role, you can get like 50 applications, just for a job, and then they begin to reject people. And then they pick those that they find their CV is super interesting, or people that they want to talk to. And that's why you need to make your CV like almost perfect. I know you probably cannot achieve perfection, but you need to try your best, to make it like super clean, super perfect, super simple to read, because they're not going to go word for word reading everything. It needs to be catchy to the eyes so that they can get the important thing they want to get out of it, and they either reach out to you they either reach out to you for the first interview, or they reject you outrightly if you're not a perfect fit for them, or if you don't have the kind of things that they need, So of course, yeah, this video has been quite a lot, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I hope you like it. I hope you find it educative. I hope it's helpful to you, and it doesn't just apply to people that are applying for jobs in Germany. I think you can also use some of these tips for applying for jobs outside of Germany, to other countries, Nigeria, within the EU region, in America, like wherever you are, because I guess most companies use similar, things. You apply through CV and then you get for your first interview, and it goes on from there. So let me know if you have any questions. Put in the comment section. I'm going to make a next video on what happens after you get your first interview and how you need to prepare for it. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. So yeah, this is the end of this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and please, if you like this channel, please subscribe. Keep me in the market, keep me in the business. I help me grow my channel as well. And that's about it. I wish you good luck. I wish you success. I wish you the best as you apply for a job, as you move into the job market. I hope that you get a job pretty soon, and even if you don't, keep trying. It's going to come for you one day. As I said, all you need is 1 year. A lot of no's, no problem. All you need is 1 year. And I'll see you later. Ciao.